subject that I was talking about is what is black? What is a black person? Who is a black person? Most black people are descendants of Africa. Let's just get that out the way. And our roots spread across the whole European governments, countries, states, cities, everywhere, practically around the world. Our DNA spreads around the world. Probably the oldest DNA in human civilization. More than likely the oldest. Or one of, definitely, by far. I'm not going to get into the history or nothing like that. Today we face a social problem. For a long time, black people, in a sense, felt trapped. Like, we've always expressed ourselves. Black people have no problem expressing themselves. Any individual. The problem is that we wasn't being heard for a long time. A black human, yo, is a complicated race. Black people in itself, in the self community, is separated. We have many opinions about what it is to be black. And it feels like that's based on where you're from. You know, because I'm quite sure that a black person born and raised in the suburbs, generation after generation, will think a lot different than someone in the urban or hood or ghetto, generation after generation. The experience is totally different. Another thing is the schools. Black people was able to prove that, you know, even if the school situation isn't working into our favor, that we were still able to overcome with a low education. This year alone, well, these last 5 years, black women have been the number one entrepreneurs in the world. That's a fact. Black women in this era is the number one entrepreneurs in the world. You can look that up. The power struggle between black people constantly shifts, and our demands, you know, always get shift depending on who's leading the pack. Black people support leaders, but now in today's society, a leader now is considered to be the bravest person to speak up, not necessarily with any points, no basis. It just seems like I'm black and I got a voice. Fuck the message. All across the board, no matter who you are, you will be discriminated against. It doesn't matter. White, black, Rican, Chinese, Russian, you're always going to be discriminated against. That's by far. You know, we crack on white people. We crack on anybody, to tell you the truth. Every single race, it's been a joke by a black comedian or a regular person about every single race, religion. It doesn't matter. We have no holds bars when it comes to making fun of. However, we're sensitive because of what we witnessed. Our race, it's what we witnessed our race go through is what makes us sensitive to the subject, because I could say that majority of the people that's watching this may have never ever experienced slavery ever in their life. But the pain is still there, because every once in a while, in every black person's individual life, they will be reminded, you know, that it's not a joke for them. See, we make fun of, but y'all really serious. Y'all don't want us here in these countries. Y'all don't want to see us. And, you know, when people say, yo, it's a lot of videos online and there's a lot of stuff that you can see how racism is real and all of that stuff, that shit don't mean shit. That shit don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? What? You're going to walk around with a video camera around you 24 hours a day? That shit is just not happening. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean shit. It's the people that actually witness this stuff, man. Like, come on, man. You know what's right and wrong. Like, I feel like after you're 21, there's no more excuses. You're responsible for what you do, what you say, you know. Like, come on. It's no way that they can't say police don't harass people. Whether they black, white, Puerto Rican, police are its own substance on its own. It's not even human. Police are not humans. You cannot be a human to take on that type of job. You understand? You become a predator. You have to be a predator to be a police officer. You just have to be. You have to go out there and look and search and find. You have to go on a heavy pursuit of crime, and that is it. You know, ever since they took those chains off of us, off of my race, ever since we got free, people was terrified. You can imagine if all of this time you oppressed black people and, you know, beating them and killing them and all of that stuff, and then as soon as y'all take the chains off and say, all right, doggy, you can go, you scared that that dog might turn around and bite you. So white people are in fear of. That's obvious. They've always been in fear of. One of these days, a black person is going to be mad because of what my ancestors did, and they're going to take it all out on me. But I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with what your ancestors did, because we're going through this now. We're going through this now. I know white people that love black people to the point where they want to be black people. And I'm quite sure y'all do too. And black people's life possibly is so bad that I can imagine that some black people probably don't even want to be black. If somebody cuts you in your face, across your face, you'll have a tough time looking in the mirror. Some scars are just hard to bear, and you really have a tough time living with it. That's a black person's skin. You walk into a gas station full of white people, and you could feel everyone looking at your scar. You can feel everyone thinking of your scar. And the reactions is that it just seems like they feel like they're the ones who put the scar there. An admission of guilt without even saying a word. Not everyone, just some. Another thing is these slave movies. These slave movies and the history that's still being shown between blacks and whites. Now, if you're a 6-year-old kid, if you're a black boy, or if you're a white boy, and you put them both in a room, and you have them sit down and watch Roots, the black boy's mind, it would feel horrifying. He wouldn't understand why are they beating the black person. But his only answer and explanation is because he's black. But if a white boy sees the same movie, he would automatically feel inferior to black people. Automatically. It's a trigger mechanism that's identifiable for immediate thinking. If you was a cowboy and you have your friend and he's an Indian, and you're watching cowboy and Indian movies, the Indian will feel offended, and the white person will more than likely root on the cowboy. You just can't go against your own kind. And you can't help but to feel partially proud if your kind is winning. Black people has accepted that. We accepted that. We accepted that, we can't go to where we're not accepted. We accepted those things, you know what I'm saying? And through types of unity, we've become the most influential race on earth. Everybody wants to be like a black person. The suit and tie is almost a thing of the past, They used to look at people with jerseys and all of this stuff like they out their mind, son. But when you see your favorite player with this jersey on, with his jersey on and stuff like that, it's like, I want to represent that person. But through all streams of sports media, top athlete is usually black. So white people is kind of in a dilemma. We can't hate all black people. Who don't love Michael Jordan when he was playing with the Bulls, and watching him do the type of things that he did. I mean, I was a Knicks fan. I'm still a Knicks fan, diehard Knicks fan. And Jordan used to destroy us. He used to destroy us so much that I found the fascination from watching him destroy my team. You can't hate what brings a positive light to your own personal life. You know, and that's the part of understanding that we all need. The more experience we have with each other, the better understanding we'll have as a world. I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth. And I think I speak for majority of the black people when I say this. But we hate how we have been treated. We just hate it. I don't think anybody wants to be on welfare. I don't think anyone wants to live in low housing. People have dreams and aspirations as well as any other race anywhere else in this world. And as black people that help create America, feel some type of way about seeing people that just come here and, you know, they just pass the whole first block of the monopoly, while we still stuck at Baltic Ave. Pennsylvania Ave is where we're trying to go. Boardwalk. But we can't make it halfway across the board without going to jail. It is important that our success is tempered by prison. As long as we get arrest records, it's not really much we can do. Well, before, back then, we're saying the 90s. Things are a lot different now. Things are a lot different. I seen bank managers with felonies, so things are a lot different. A lot different. You can vote now with a felony. You know what I'm saying? You could be a felon and be able to vote now. But the thing that I'm saying is that it's been before I was even born. The problem that the United States is having now with black people is that any one of us could be a black leader now. They can't assassinate us all. I was born and raised in the Bronx, majority of all my life. I don't have too much experience with white people. However, people has been telling me different things, and my experience with white people is usually cops. It's usually police. They the ones who introduce themselves to me, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Most of the experience that I had with cops, most was my fault. Most of the times that I've came in contact with police was because of something that I did. Not saying that police did not fuck with me for no reason. Countless times. Countless. I can't even remember. But I can definitely say some of the things I put myself in those situations. However, the times with police come in contact with me without me doing anything is the worst. That's one of the worst experiences. That means that the cop is like, we call them ball busters. The cop is just being a ball buster. You know what I'm saying? He sees a group of teenagers, young black men on the corner, want to break it up. For no reason, just break it up. Hey, what you guys doing out here? Call over all of them drug dealers. Put them on the wall, put the cuffs on them, saying, yo, we got somebody broke in, or somebody robbed somebody, just to, have probable cause. Giving these bogus descriptions to black men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But as a whole, black people love the United States. This is a country that we was born in, and we partially feel like it's ours also. It is some parts in America that white people cannot take over. That's owned by blacks. Black people that I know of, can't speak for everybody in this, but black people don't look to go find white people to hurt or harm or take advantage of or deter their life in some different direction and stuff like that. However, you have white people that make it their mission. That makes it their mission, son, to go and shoot a church or a school or something like that. Like the over the top, inhumane, like I don't care about no race. It's sad, but another problem is that the police department I don't want my moms to be in a situation where she can't call the cops. So we're faced with a dilemma. You can't say that all cops is bad, because that's not true. Not even a lot of cops is bad. I can't see that. However, it is a very large amount. It's an extreme large amount. But it's not all. It's not most. The problem that the police have is that they have the same street code we have. I ain't gonna tell on my man, they ain't gonna tell on their man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So we in a dilemma. It's more than law for police. It's a fraternity. It's a brotherhood. You dig what I'm saying? It's the fact that I can say I did, or I was, or I am. It's something empowering. It gives you the authority over others. And we know no human being on this earth is good with power. That's how come we replace power with money. Because we can't get power So the more money you have, some way, somehow, the more jewels you have, the more cars and whatever you have gives you a mental, self-mental, because I don't believe it, a self-mental power over someone. The ability to say, you can't get this, or you don't have this. You know what's more difficult than getting a gold chain? In education. And education is way more valuable than any gold chain anybody has at any time. I don't care. Because within education, I can earn gold chains. I can figure out how to make gold chains. I can determine whether if a gold chain is even worth it or not. And the same people that's going around buying gold chains possibly could buy from you. You're smart enough. So, materialistic things wither in dirt. Eventually, it'll evaporate or go away. Power is not measured by success. More or less, the mind is probably the most powerful tool a human being can design. Once you realize what's important to you and you determine, the ways of life, things become more clear. I can see how if you're in pain long enough, nothing really matters. Nothing matters to you. Anything is good. If a person was starving long enough and somebody gave them some dry corn on the cob, it would probably be delicious. And that's in the essence of where we're at. Any little bit is good if you don't have nothing. Any little bit. These protests, these riots, and all of this stuff, you have to know it's during election time. I'm not saying that this was manifested. God bless you, Charles Floyd. God bless you, man. George Floyd, I'm sorry. There's so many people dying, so many names to keep up with, man. This is crazy. I've seen that so many times. I've been a victim of police, and you kind of get this used to it feeling, and you kind of dehumanize yourself when you see so many people dying in that kind of way, or getting harassed in that kind of way. You dehumanize yourself, you make yourself less and less human the more and more you witness it. But for people in the suburbs that don't ever get a chance to witness those type of things, it'll be unbelievable to them that these things is happening on a regular basis. Unbelievable. Not in my neighborhood. That I never seen that happen before, is what they would say. certain people are protected by their neighborhoods where that type of harassment can never happen. But in other neighborhoods, it's a free-for-all. It's like they brag about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a competition thing for us, B. And it's not one single database, one single, computer that can tell you the problems of the black people. It's just not, yo. You have to hear our voices in order to understand what we're going through. It's almost impossible for this many people to be saying the same thing, man. And then in the same area, come on, man, come on. I'm quite sure if you had a detailed conversation with somebody, they could even tell you the individuals. They know them by first name, yo. Like, I know certain people that, like, come on, B. I won't. The thing about it is the reason why is because why stir the pot? We're trying to get out of their pot. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get out of the pot. That's our objective. Black people, let's get out of the pot. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, B. But it's crazy because in order to do that, we would have to start raising other people's kids. Because some parents is not even in a position to raise their own kids. Like, you would literally have to take over their household for them. And then once they're on their feet, then you go to the next person and try to do as much as you can for them. And then, so on and so forth until all of our personal needs are met. That's how our communities should be working with each other. The disattachment between the older generation of black people and the younger generation is crazy. It was a 10-year gap. A generation was skipped in order for this generation to be thinking at the way they think. Because every single generation follows lead of the last generation. So a generation had to have been skipped in order for this generation to be thinking this way, with no partial thoughts of the last generation. This is something totally that I can't see any one of our generations being taught. It's somewhat of a good thing because now we're intertwined with whites. Whites and other people. Everybody is united, but it's certain smoke screens that you just can't see through. Like, for instance, I always stress this. We don't own a genre of music anymore. Our music has been quietly banned. Our music has been quietly banned. But the problem is that the music now can't compete with the music of then. So now you have artists today that has to go dig in the crates. Damn, yo, what he said, what he did. Maybe I could use that today for me to get rich. That's in a nutshell. They will never ever want to see another Nas. They would never ever want to see another Nas again. They would not want to see another Nas come about this, out of hip hop, out of music, period. That's definitely one artist that I can say started a revolution and didn't even know it with his music. Definitely, hands down by far.